Hi everybody, Dr. Bill Crawford here, psychologist, speaker, author of 4 books, host of 2 PBS specials. Here today to give you another tip on helping you create the life you want, or how to become more influential in your life and in the lives of others. The topic today is, what is a stressful situation? Does it even exist? And I've been a little apprehensive about bringing this topic to our discussion because I was concerned it would be misunderstood. So before you get all upset here about me trying to tell you that you're wrong or bad for being stressed, whatever, let me kind of give you a sense of exactly what I mean by that and what I don't mean. What I don't mean to imply is that there is no situation that can trigger our stress. I don't mean to imply that somehow if we get stressed by engaging in a situation with another person, somehow that is our fault, our failure to cope, or we shouldn't do that. What I want to do is look at what stress really is, and then see, does this concept of stressful really accurately describe the experience? Okay, so let's look at what stress really is, because we've been given some bad information here. We've been told that stress is what something or someone does to us. Traffic stresses us out. Work stresses us out. Difficult people stress us out. Deadlines stress us out. And the good news is that's not true, because if that were true, we would have to change all those before we could influence our experience. And that's what a lot of people do. When they find themselves feeling stressed, they look at what they believe is the cause and try to change that. But often we can't change deadlines or traffic or difficult people or some of those situations that we are ascribing the cause to. That triggers more stress. We find ourselves caught in this cycle. What stress really is actually just a series of chemical changes in our body. Those chemicals, for the most part, are adrenaline, noradrenaline, and cortisol. Cortisol is the big one. Matter of fact, that's how they measure how stressed someone is today, is they measure the amount of cortisol in their saliva. And that didn't used to be the case. They used to measure how stressed you were by defining and describing the situations you were in and giving each one of those situations a certain number of points. Like if you had been divorced or lost a loved one or lost a job or had a major move, you were given so many points for those. And if you added up the points, then you were deemed to be stressed. That was one of those old situations that talked about stressful situations. However, what they discovered was some people with a whole lot of points didn't report being stressed. And some people with just a very few points reported feeling very stressed. So they decide, wait a minute, it's not that, because the situations aren't what's causing the stress. It's got to be something else. So they finally were able to look at these chemicals. So the reason I say there is no such thing as a stressful situation is that a situation can't be full of adrenaline, noradrenaline, and cortisol. Those are chemicals that are triggered within our body. Now, a lake is full of water, an ocean is full of water. If we walk into those, we will get wet. But a situation can't be full of stress. We can't walk into that and all of a sudden be bathed externally in chemicals. Now, can that situation trigger those chemicals? And does it often? Yeah. But you see, when we begin to look at our stress as a series of chemicals triggered in our body, then the question is, okay, what's triggering the chemical? If it's not the situation, what is it? And can I have more influence over what is triggering the chemicals so that I can trigger different chemicals? Say endorphins, say serotonin or dopamine, the chemicals that help us think clearer and feel better. So you see, that's why I like to look at situations and describe them in ways other than stressful. Because when we describe them as stressful, we give them the power to stress us out. It's kind of like when I talked about this, I think last week in one of my videos, when we describe a situation or a person as annoying or frustrating or depressing or overwhelming. We give that situation or person the power to make us feel annoyed or depressed or overwhelmed or stressed. So, I'm a big fan of us becoming more influential in our life, and that has a lot to do with how we describe the situations we're in and the experiences we have as a result of them. If we say, you know, I was in traffic the other day, and gosh, I got that triggered a lot of adrenaline, noradrenaline, and cortisol. That was a really unpleasant experience. The next time I'm in traffic, here's what I would like to practice feeling. See, anything we practice, we get good at. That's why we're so good at experiencing stress and frustration and annoyance in these situations. But if we begin to look at them not as the cause, but as a situation that is triggering a certain response, and we begin to get influential with that trigger, which for those of you who have been following my Life from the Top of the Mind philosophy, you know that trigger lies in this middle part of the brain, the limbic system, that has a tendency to interpret an external situation as threatening or problematic. That triggers the production of adrenaline, noradrenaline, and cortisol, and we get stressed and frustrated and annoyed and angry as a result. If we can begin to look at those situations as an opportunity to practice what I call our highest purpose, the ability to choose the quality or characteristic we want to bring to that situation, then all of a sudden we become more influential in our life and in the lives of others. As you might imagine, there's a whole lot more to this. I certainly go into this a lot in my book, Life from the Top of the Mind. I go into this a lot when I'm out giving presentations on stress or leadership or dealing with difficult people. So if that's something you would like me to do, just go to my website and click the contact button. The website is Ph.D.com, or just Google Bill Crawford and I'll come up on the first page. Hit the contact button, let me know what you're interested in. And of course, if you're interested in working with me as a life coach or a psychologist around these issues, around becoming more influential in your life so that you're not allowing those external situations or people to make you feel a certain way, go to the website, hit the contact button. I'd love to talk with you about that as well. Please hit the like button, by the way, if you are liking these videos. You know, Google and YouTube pay a lot of attention to that. It is so meaningful to me to be able to bring them to you. So hopefully you now know what I mean when I say there isn't such a thing as a stressful situation. And hopefully you want to get on board with that. Because as we define our experience in terms of either how we can impact it or how we are impacted by other situations, that has a lot to do with whether or not we can be influential in our life and in the lives of others. So, here's to you, bringing more clarity, confidence, creativity, becoming more influential in every aspect of your life, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.